What's up, guys? Everyone is poor. It's 2026. We are very poor. No one is doing good right now unless you're a pedophile.
Okay guys, today's video topic is pretty simple, highly relatable. It's about how to prep if you're broke, and I think this is going to be tailored more towards the people who are kind of just starting out and want to get into it, especially if you're younger. Me, myself, I'm a young man and I'm poor, so I figured I'm pretty qualified to talk about this. I got a couple points written down, and the first one is take your time. I know we're all doom scrolling, and we're seeing these reels about Iran. We're seeing all the Epstein files and the aliens and the demons, and we're all low-key spazzing on the inside. But please do not rush this kind of stuff. You're gonna go broke, and if you get sent out on the street, evicted from your apartment because you can't pay, you're gonna be way worse off than you would have been just buying one thing at a time. So just get your regular life in order first. If you got a job, just focus on your job. You aren't a functioning citizen right now. You won't be a functioning survivor later when the dookie hits the box fan. And if we're talking about starting from zero, I think it kind of comes in tiers, right? And tier 0 is think like a homeless guy. Think like you're on the streets, right? Imagine like whatever scenario you're going to be prepping for, right? Imagine that you got dropped off in that scenario at ground zero. What would you want? And obviously that goes into the next point of just buying the practical stuff first. Buy food, buy water, buy things that are either shelter or expedite ways to create or find shelter. Get communication in order, whether that's walkie-talkies or mesh-tastic or even getting into HF radio. Get tools. If you have a vehicle and your vehicle breaks down, well, now you're stuck at wherever you are, whether that's at home or maybe you were in your vehicle when things started popping off. And of course, buy yourself some basic weapons. And I'm not talking about buying a high point pistol off of PSA for $189. I know it's tempting, and yes, they do shoot. But honestly, get yourself like a machete first, or an aluminum baseball bat. A homeless guy isn't gonna have a Gucci'd out AR. He's just focusing on waking up alive, getting food, getting water, making his connections, panhandling, and being able to sleep till the next day to do it all over again. If you are too poor for a vacation, you are too poor to bug out. Right now, your finances aren't looking great. Probably aren't fully equipped to go bug out on public land or your buddy's farm or whatever. Bugging in is going to be a lot cheaper than bugging out. Bugging out is going to require fuel and route planning and things to maintain your security. Bugging in, everything you need is going to be in one stationary location, whether that's an apartment or a house or a farm. These things scale. It's all up to your personal pace plan and everything on what you're going to do when something happens in your town, city, area you live. Sometimes bugging in is just going to be the best option in general. Go thrifting. Don't buy everything brand new that you don't need brand new. I have plenty of BDU pants, best pants in the world. You'll find boonie hats, you'll find jackets, you'll find some good used boots, and of course there's tools, books, anything you can think of. If you are willing to get those things used, if you look at enough thrift stores, they're gonna have it. Kind of the same thing goes for Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, eBay, yard, garage sales, estate sales, flea markets. Honestly, too, another great thing about buying used is that you have an option to buy extra things without spending a lot of money. If you are poor and you don't own a gun yet, buy an airsoft gun. And this is for 2 reasons. One, they're a lot cheaper than a regular gun, and if you just really, for whatever reason, don't have the means to buy a gun and buy ammunition for that gun, a good gas blowback, CO2 or green gas, is going to be a good analog for you to at least get familiar with a gun. Granted, it's not going to be a one-to-one analog, but you're going to get 85-90% of the functionality of a normal firearm. Being able to hand it off to someone else and be like, hey, like for me, I bought like a Nerf gun. It's like the X-Shot Nexus or something, right? It's like maybe 90% the size of an AR-15. Here's a rifle form factor. You pull the stock to your shoulder, yeah, you put your cheek there, and then you just aim down that way, and then you squeeze the trigger real slow till something comes out. Here's how to put the magazine in and out. And the thing had Picatinny rail as well, so I bought like a cheap like red dot off of Amazon, just as like another thing for my girlfriend to get used to. Is like, hey, once you see the little red dot, just put it where you want it to hit. So again, it's obviously not a stand-in for a real firearm. It is just a firearm like analog for people to get used to or just practice handling or whatever. It's better than being like, here's the big black scary thing on the news, point it at that guy and pull the trigger. Us Gen Z folk, we're pretty poor right now, and sometimes just clearing the house with a Nerf gun is all we got right now. Make friends. If you're alone when Dookie hits the ceiling fan, you're going to die. You're either gonna die a really quick, stupid death, or a really slow, really painful, stupid death. Make friends with your coworkers. Use your judgment. When bring up stuff in the middle of conversations. Ask questions. You never know what people are into. Like, I found out like my girlfriend's manager is apparently like really into shooting and stuff like that. I'm not trying to sound like I'm super poor or like I'm a bum or anything, but if you make friends, they might give you stuff, and take whatever you can get. And hey, give back. Don't lie to your friends and don't take from your friends. Like a one-way transaction thing. I'm not trying to encourage you to go full Patrick Bateman and you're only in the hanging out with people thing. You can tell how many friends I have. If you're religious or if you're not, you can go to church. There's groups, there's clubs for everything. If you're in a city, we are so brain rotted these days where it's like kind of the worst thing you can do to some people is try to talk to them now. It's like, hi, how you doing? And they're like, go away or I'm gonna kill myself. And you're like, whoa, hey. And then you kind of have to like actually run away because you're just like, I don't want to be in that situation. Get your vehicle in order if you have one. If you don't have one at all, get a bike, put a rack on it. I can make a whole video about that, okay? Trust me, I got experience in that. I rode a bicycle across the country one time just for fun. I got experience on just fitting as much gear in a bicycle as possible and literally at points surviving. So I could make a video on tactical bike, or sustainment bike, end of the world bike. Comment down below if you think that'd be interesting, because I would be glad to put that video together. Whatever mode of transportation you have, it doesn't need to be Gucci. Not every car needs a turbo. It doesn't need to be stanced out, okay? Not every vehicle needs a catback exhaust. You need tires that'll last you. You need an engine that has plenty of oil. You need a battery that's not gonna die on you. And if you got that stuff, you're on the way to success. Get your car in order. If you don't got a car, get a bike. Bike your way to work. When I was a youngster, out of high school, I used to ride a bike 13 miles to work at Walmart. And then I rode a bike after that 8 miles in the middle of the winter to work at a lumber mill. It can be done. Is it horrible? The 13 miles to the Walmart wasn't bad. I had a bike trail. It was summertime. It was actually pretty pleasant. Sorry, guys. Beverly Hills Chihuahuas 2 came on and I had to pause the recording, but we're back.
Subscribe.
Not everything needs to be tactical. Everyone's heard of the gray man theory. Everyone's heard of that. Got a Black Rifle Coffee hat on. I would just automatically assume you've some 2011. But I mean, camping gear is just as good, and it looks pretty natural. There's a lot of backpacks that are not Mystery Ranch that are fine. Don't fall into the everything needs to be tactical trap when it comes to gear, because camping stuff and work stuff, it all works functionally the same. That was crazy. Tailor your environment. Bro, am I gay? Tailor to your environment, or tailor to your most likely scenario. Don't prepare for everything. Do a risk assessment on your area, figure out what are the most likely not good things that could happen. Prepare for those first, prepare for the ones that are the most imminent for your area, and then cover broader strokes, war and asteroids and aliens, you can cover that later. Now, while you're on your free time, or even while you're working, just gather skills. Listen to podcasts or YouTube videos while you're working on your off time. Read stuff, same thing. Just consume information. Fill in what you don't know. Have a large basic knowledge to work off of, and level it up. Acquire as much information as possible. If you go to a bookstore or a thrift store, if there's a book about something you're not really familiar about, or something you are familiar about, build that library up. There's maps for everything. Every state usually has some sort of portal. If not, just go into USGS or something like that. Hoard all you can digitally as well. Get yourself a specialized flash drive. This flash drive is just here to hoard information. Any kind of manual, any kind of book, video, PDF, map, anything you can find. Download videos off of YouTube onto there, because that will be a very, very, very valuable asset. If things are bad and they stay bad for a long, sustained amount of time, some information will just straight up get lost. Speaking of acquiring things, acquire high value items for bartering. Sometimes that's just simple as food. Again, it could be knowledge. It could be gold, silver. Doubt it would be the US dollar though. Or even things that are just straight up nostalgic. Comment anything that came to mind, unless it's mean. Don't be mean to me. I don't like that. We are rats. We are all in the rat race. Squeak, squeak. Please subscribe. Have a good day or night.